It will be high effort React content. Don't you worry. Okay, how long is this video? I found this when I was on the way. No, this is a goated YouTube algo poll. It's 30 minutes long. It's so crazy. Okay, this video is called The Piss Saga, a short documentary. Okay. I have a friend who lives by where this was happening. I feel like I can't really like describe this whole thing without like I feel like the video speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Hold on, where's my chat? I need to move it. Move over here. Like trust when I say this is, you will never expect where this video goes. Okay.
For the past 2 years, an electrical box in my neighborhood had been overrun with bottles of piss. And not your normal run-of-the-mill truck driver bottle of piss, but an assortment of different sized bottles, different colors, and sometimes complemented with a hand-drawn note.
I wasn't kidding! I wasn't kidding, guys.
In the late afternoon or evening, with this transaction occurring a few times a week. The word of this piss-infested electrical box spread throughout the neighborhood, even to the point where a third-party vigilante left an aggressive letter threatening the culprit. The notoriety of the situation grew, and so did the strength of the urine, making its mark atop the electrical box and cementing itself as its own neighborhood landmark.
I just think this is real journalism.
Who was placing these bottles? Who was the vigilante? Is a different person picking them up? Finally, my curiosity got the best of me. So I purchased the DigitGarden 4K waterproof trail camera with the hopes of answering these questions. But my main holdup was setting up the camera. The electrical box is located on a busy street, and if anyone saw me next to it, then they would immediately assume that I was the pisser, and my reputation would be forever ruined.
Yeah, you can't be caught.
Grant, who's always filming his own videos and skits, and is usually in costume, figuring that he would be a good source for a decoy.
You can't be caught.
Ayo. Yeah,
yellow-handed.
Vest and a helmet you can borrow. I also have a brown lunch bags if you need to have a sack lunch with you. Also, let me know if you need any help putting it up.
The next day, Grant and I arrived at the location in our decoy looks.
Being a construction worker is like actually perfect for this too, because you could literally just fuck around and do nothing and people would be like, yeah, okay, they're just doing their job, I guess.
As a standard construction worker, and Grant as a recently divorced, disheveled project manager. The two of us were able to fool the public as we successfully set up the DigitGarden 4K waterproof trail camera. The following morning, I went to go check the electrical box and couldn't believe my eyes. Piss. I honestly thought this would take a week or so, but we were able to capture the drop-off on the first night, but inherently knew that the pickup was the most intriguing part of the story.
Yes, so we are watching this whole thing.
We agreed to wait it out one more night. Unfortunately, the piss bottles were still there the following morning. No pickup. It had been too long, and there was a high chance that the batteries to my DigitGarden 4K waterproof trail camera were dead.
Ad.
Also, since Grant and I had been posting about this in real time, there was a great deal of pressure building from people online. I couldn't take it anymore.
I think
making sure the coast was clear.
I just want to say, I think that also I've been here. I know where this is. I know where this freeway is. I know where this fence is. I can tell you where this is in Los Angeles. Like I have been on this street before. Bald bear. What? I have hair, dude. Like this is LA activities, you know?
Quickly collected the DigitGarden 4K waterproof trail camera and went home to review
But
the
I
clips.
do think
Finally, the mystery was about to be solved.
Their first mistake was posting about it online before figuring out who it was.
The footage was baffling. I hadn't even thought about the drop-off coming from beyond the wall, which also happened to be the side of a highway.
Highly suspicious location knowledge. I'm not the piss bandit. Listen, I may piss a lot, but you guys, if you watch me, you should know that I drink a lot of water. There is no shot my piss is that yellow. I don't piss that yellow. That is some yellow piss, bro.
Questions, and so did everyone following the saga. Grant and I both felt that this was just the tip of the iceberg and that we're onto something much bigger. After capturing the mysterious video footage of the initial piss drop-off, Grant and I decided to take the weekend to process what we had just witnessed. It was baffling to think that someone was out there at night, in the bushes with latex gloves, strategically placing piss bottles on an electrical box.
Also, like, why are we
Monday
using...
morning, I drove to the site to check if the bottles were...
Why are we using, like, gloves if the bottle isn't even, like, sealed like it would be Like, it's not sterile. There's no point in using gloves.
On, and we devised a plan to capture what was occurring beyond the wall. For this intricate of a setup, we need a bigger crew of decoy construction workers. Fortunately, Grant had a construction worker friend who agreed to help out and lend us gear while also giving us a few pointers on how we could better sell the look. I didn't have any construction worker friends, but I had a motorcycle friend named Robin, who basically looks like a construction worker, and I was certain that he would help out. But Robin was busy that day, so I hit up my friend Katz, who's usually down for anything. Hey Katz, I'm working on a project and need some extra bodies. Mainly need you to come and be a construction
Giga unemployed activities.
I've never done construction before, but fuck it, I'll try anything once. Hey, wait, is this for the piss thing?
With both Katz and Grant's real construction friend on board, it was time to head to the location.
I like the white
we were a
monster
squad of
too.
construction
It's
workers ready to take on whatever construction
good
worker
touch,
things that were in our
I think.
path. And in this case,
God, I
Grant,
can't wait
the
for people to
recently
come in
divorced
here and be
disheveled
like,
project
"What the
manager
fuck are you
loomed over,
watching?"
micromanaging us to a T. With cameras set up, our operation was an all-in-all success.
Urine
now
piss
it was time to wait.
underscore.
The next morning, I returned to the
802.
box only to see that there was a
Oh,
new
my
batch of
crabs.
piss bottles. I knew because this was fewer than before, and one bottle had a particular darker tint. I immediately hit up Grant with the good intel, but was only met with
Why
some
is it
disastrous
dark
news
like
on his end.
that?
And out of nowhere, Grant hit me with the classic "I'm going to Norway today" excuse.
I'm going to Norway today.
I had to retrieve these DigiGarden 4K waterproof trail cameras, but also knew it would be too risky to collect on my own. I needed a project manager, and I knew just the guy. Katz and I met at the location.
Method
again,
acting.
in our decoy looks. Me as a normal construction worker,
The
and
bo- the
Katz as an
labels
actually
are so
divorced,
awesome.
recently divorced, disheveled project manager. And we were able to
labels are
retrieve
so
both
good.
DigiGarden 4K waterproof trail cameras without any problems. But beyond the wall, we did get a major hit. Footage of the culprit in the act, revealing a man in his mid-30s to 40s wearing latex gloves and a flashlight, pouring liquids from one bottle to another, then methodically placing the piss on the...
Like, why are we... You would think he, like, would pee individually in each bottle, but, like, he doesn't do that. He pours, like, he transfer... I don't know.
electrical box. Also, the timestamp is almost identical to the previous footage. This clearly seemed premeditated and very intentional. I thought getting a visual of the culprit would give me some closure, but in reality, it only doubled my curiosity. Is this some abstract performance artist, or some family man's late night fetish? For every question I answer, I seemingly raise two more. What are his motives? Who is doing the pickups? And is that actually urine?
Is it urine?
The electrical box was stacked with piss. A couple days had passed since we captured the footage of the culprit in the act, and I was reluctant to set up my DigiGarden 4K waterproof trail cameras, mainly because my two project managers were missing. Grant was abroad, enjoying himself on a meaningless trip to Norway, while Katz was tied up with many of life's distractions. So I took this time to monitor and track the culprit's movements, day in and day out, the comings and goings of the piss bottles.
Calendar.
But as the days passed, the bottles remained on the electrical box. More bottles would appear overnight, some with more labels than usual, and he even went to the extent of placing decals on the box. Was he taunting me? Was this piss cat and
Wait,
mouse?
I just realized the ocean spray stickers, that's like you drink that like when you have a UTI, like you drink the cranberry juice because like Ocean Spray is a cranberry juice brand. Does he have like a crazy UTI and he's like doing bioterrorism or something? Like he's trying to give other people UTI, but it doesn't make any sense.
Trail camera that had shifted in the tree, framing out the electrical box, hoping that I would discover some clue regarding the pickup that day. Although this was quite the task because it recorded every single person, cyclist, and car that passed by. The only thing I was able to capture was a man in a construction worker type vest observing and taking photos of the bottles. He then moves out of frame but looks to be collecting them. Was this a city cleanup crew guy? Or a sketchy piss recipient who was wearing a city cleanup crew guy decoy outfit? Meanwhile, online, my Piss Saga intro video was racking up views, even to the point where people from the neighborhood would reach out and send their own piss bottle stories and photos. One person sent me an origin story about how the piss bottle started off on a different electrical box at a nearby park, and then gradually moved east,
Yeah, this is
eventually
in
claiming the current box.
This is in
Another unsettling
Pasadena,
anecdote was
in
about
LA.
a time when the culprit tied a bottle to a string.
This is a pretty
and hung it from
highly
a tree.
populated area.
People were
and it's a
consumed with
nice
piss
area
and
too.
had started developing their own theories as to what was occurring beyond the wall. A drug drop disguised as human urine? Clean urine for people who needed to pass a drug test? Or just a person that wanted to showcase their massive collection of piss? Then someone sent me a message that caught my interest. A user claimed that they owned a crime scene bio and hazardous waste company and had been doing cleanups at the piss box for the past 2 years.
He's just trying to mark his
Within the
territory.
company,
Well,
employees
yeah, that's
referred to
true.
the
He could be.
culprit as the
He
pee
could be
bandit
trying
and
to
had
mark his
inside knowledge
territory.
that checked out with my footage. We
Piss
knew the piss bandit was
sample.
extremely calculated and that he would be alerted if one of his bottles was missing. We were playing chess and needed to offer a gambit to gain positional advantage. By this, I of course mean we implement a decoy piss bottle. Grant returned that Saturday and I had him meet me directly from the airport. We then got straight to work. Using a mixture of unsweetened pure leaf green tea and unsweetened pure leaf regular tea, we were able to concoct the perfect human urine decoy. Next,
You need a
we had
different
to
bottle,
replicate
though.
the
It's-
piss bandit's hand-drawn
Oh, actually,
card
never mind. I was
that
gonna say
usually
that
left
he
on the
used the
bottle's
same
inner lid.
bottles, but he doesn't.
Fortunately, Grant was known to have terrible handwriting and was able to perfectly match the signage. Then we headed to the location in our decoy outfits. Me as a normal construction worker, and
I
Grant
saw a
as
2-gallon
recently
sealed
divorced,
container
disheveled
of bear
project
piss
manager
to
who
shield
just
gardens
returned
from
from a
deer and
numerous
rabbits.
trip to
I
Norway.
thought of you.
It
Oh,
was our
thank
most
you.
daring mission yet.
That's so sweet.
We had a plan that we would follow precisely. I would use a specimen grabber thing to pick up the real bottle of piss, while Grant quickly replaced it with a decoy. Then he would take our sample and secure it in our own custom-made specimen box.
Dude, that one
We had our
bottle,
sample.
brother, this looks like Sunny D. If your piss looked like that, I think there's something wrong with you. Oh my god, yeah, they aren't using gloves. Oh god, they aren't using gloves. That's true. Oh god. That's so crazy. Oh wait, no, they did have grabbers, but still, I would still put on gloves. Like, I would want that extra protection. How much would someone have to pay to take a little sip of the decoy piss or the piss bottle? Guys, we're watching. Okay, I knew this would happen. We're watching a video about a man who leaves piss bottles on an electrical box in LA, and people are trying to figure out these guys are trying to figure out why it's happening. This is
Now it's
this
time
is
to
real
undergo
journalism, guys.
The test.
This was a mythical algo poll from like last month. Also, you couldn't pay me any money.
Grant and I had
I would
successfully
probably get
collected
very
one of the
sick.
piss bottles
so
from the electrical box. Now it was time for the tests. Fortunately for me, Grant volunteered to do all the heavy lifting.
I ain't
mainly
drinking nothing unless it's from the source. TBH, I do not trust. You mean the source of the piss?
because he suffered from a condition called anosmia, a disorder that causes its victim, Grant in this case, to lose all sense of smell, which was perfect because he wouldn't be affected by whatever fumes were emitted during the urinalysis. We had 2 primary objectives we needed to achieve. Our second objective was to see if there were any drugs present in the liquid, especially since the majority of the pissheads online thought this entire scenario was a drug drop-off operation.
Yeah, this is like the most plausible thought, I think. Like this is like the most logical, plausible like train of thought, I think.
So I ordered an Amazon.com easy at-home 5-panel drug testing kit that gives you results in just 5 minutes. We got straight to work. Grant was in the zone.
UTI,
In his
oh
natural
God.
state, he flawlessly completed the urinalysis without any problems. We got our results in 60 seconds, although I couldn't interpret them because I wasn't a medical professional. So I sent a photo of our test strip and its legend to my friend Niall, who is a professional ICU nurse. While we waited for Niall to decipher the urinalysis, we went ahead and executed the drug test. Again, Grant performed the task masterfully. We had our results in exactly 5 minutes, and we were able to conclude that whatever liquid was in that bottle did not contain any drugs. It was drug-free.
No drugs.
Looks to be in good health.
It's definitely urine.
Definitely.
Clean, healthy piss.
We
were baffled.
This is where it gets so confusing. Like, what do you mean? This is like, first of all, the doctor's like, he looks like he's in good health. Brother. Are you sure? Are you sure that he's in good health? Like, this is not what your piss should look like if you're healthy. Like, what? This is so orange. How do you know? It's so crazy though.
A majority of our theories had been shot down. Nothing made sense. We were dealing with a guy who just leaves healthy piss.
Okay. Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, women piss. I pee. Listen, I am a bitch who pisses, all right? I know what piss looks like, guys. Sorry to break the kayfabe, but girls pee. I'm so sorry. They also fart. Girls pee and they also fart. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way.
Electrical box in Pasadena. Something wasn't adding up. We needed more footage of the culprit, but there was no way I could do this with the highly unreliable DigiGarden 4K waterproof trail cameras. So I spent a few days doing extensive research.
I'm sorry to shatter your reality like that.
I was able to conclude. Grant and I positioned the tactic
Next thing
camera
you'll say is that y'all shit or something. Dude, I shit multiple times a day, bro.
Pro cellular trail camera beyond the wall, on a tripod, tucked away in the bushes. This was our eye in the sky. And just like that, we had footage of the culprit as he lurked in the brush at 4 a.m, waiting for cars to pass so he could place his piss bottles. I was focused, tracking him, studying him, learning his ways. He was coordinated and consistent. My inside person would usually alert me when the bottles were being collected by the hazardous waste team. And then that same evening, he would strike, leaving an abundance of bottles for the morning commuters to see. One thing that did stand out to me was his clothes.
Okay, so let's say he is like, this is his fetish, right? Like, is this like a piss? Like this is like a combo fetish, right? Like I'm trying to psychoanalyze this man. Like, is it a mix of exhibitionism and like piss, like having a piss fetish? Like he wants people to see his pee? Like I don't know.
Extremely tight shirt, ironic hiking shoes, and baggy cargo pants with the unnecessary utility knife in pocket. These three characteristics
He's so committed to his craft.
had to mean only one thing.
I think my audio interface is pissed.
I had a
on
relatively
me.
elevated
Pissed,
understanding of
no.
artists since I had spent a good amount of time working in the art department for photo and video shoots. And I
No
knew that
pun
there was
intended.
only one way to deal with a self-proclaimed artist. We were going to have to give him an interview. I met up with Grant at his warehouse first thing in the morning. Grant had a good amount of junk that we were able to scrounge up and use. Our plan was to create a large interview questionnaire pad that we could leave beyond the wall for the culprit to fill out and not risk revealing his artist persona. Feeling confident
Throwing
after
rocks at
flawlessly
me, I'm
completing the
funny.
urinalysis test, Grant wanted to head up the design of the interview pad. He was starting to lean into his project manager
I'm
role.
funny, don't
but
throw rocks at me.
unfortunately, his left-handedness got the best of him, and I had to take over. We knew that the questionnaire would be jarring at first glance, so we wanted to butter up the culprit with a nice introductory message, conveying that we were fans of his work, as well as telling him something every artist wants to hear. We had to compare him to the goats of his industry. We then asked 5 questions.
I'm just gonna say something. If I was compared to Banksy, I'd take that as an insult personally.
Regarding his process, while attaching a Sharpie to his shoelace so he could answer. We also gifted him a headlamp so he could continue on with his art in the darkness. The next day, we arrived at the location. Me, as a normal construction worker, and Grant as a recently divorced, disheveled project
You're not a
manager.
street piss. Okay, as an artist in general. Also, I think it's really funny that they're like, he's an artist, guys, when he's like, this is like obviously his fetish.
Just absolutely crushed a urinalysis test. At this point,
like
being
the
construction
Banksy of
workers and project
piss.
managers was second nature to us. We were quick and covert as I scaled the wall and placed the interview pad for only our piss artists to see. Everything was set. Now, all we had to do was wait. And I wanted to deliver, but it would be impossible to do if the piss bandit
All
was
right,
gone.
crisis
Then one
averted.
evening, my phone was alerted.
Thank
My
God.
stolen Tacticam RevealX Pro Cellular Trail Camera sent a check-in photo of an image of a couple vehicles parked alongside a road with what appeared to be the ocean in the background. This was puzzling because the ocean is extremely
I
far
also
from
know
where
where
the
that
electrical
is.
box located, 20 miles to be exact, which is a 2.5-hour commute. Sadly, the culprit didn't have the device
I
turned on
in
long
fact
enough for it to
also
send
know
the
where
GPS
that
coordinates,
is.
overlooking the
Guys, this is a quite iconic place in SoCal. Do you guys know where this is? The pisser went to Sunset Cliffs in San Diego.
ocean. Thankfully, I was sent the exact GPS coordinates, which I immediately plugged into Google Maps. Sunset
Hi, Nerden.
Cliffs,
Thank you for paying.
San Diego, California.
You're paying your bears.
A popular, affluent coastal community known for its hiking trails, surf spots, and sunset views. This was far, 126 miles to be exact, which is also a 2.5-hour commute. The culprit had either taken a vacation down south, sparking up a newfound love for scenic photography, or he was toying with us. My gut instinct was that he had moved on, replacing his abstract art with something a bit more traditional. But that following Tuesday morning, I was proven wrong. He had struck, breaking his nearly 2-week-long
He drives
dormancy.
out long just to
but
piss.
Again, our interview pad remained
Yes, the
answerless.
piss bandit stole
He
the
was
trail
a devoted
cam.
artist who worked late nights and went to great lengths to conceal his identity with an interview dry erase board. This time, with only one question, which he again ignored.
God, everything's
while hitting the
broken
electrical box
today.
with a record-setting motherload drop, 1 gallon of piss. The artist was back, and more
Okay, it
prolific
should
than
work
ever.
now.
And our unsuccessful attempts at an interview left Grant and I feeling cornered and out of moves. We feared that the worst was coming to fruition. An inevitable
Fun
checkmate.
fact, the white/brown stuff is calcium. It separates after a few days of Black Bat, are you the piss bandit? So what you're saying is I can drink piss
The
instead
culprit
of
had
don't drink piss. Do not do that.
The electrical box with a 1-gallon jug of piss. He was on the offensive, toying with us. Even
If
leaving
it's
a
my
demonic
own, it's
smiley
fine.
face as
It's
a
like
taunt.
recycling.
But there
Are
was
you
one
LARPing
play
as
that
Bear
lingered in
Grylls?
the back of our heads. A Hail Mary of sorts.
This one is crazy. This is a lot of pee. This is a lot of piss, and this is also a liter bottle here. Like, is he? Well, I want to know, right? Is he peeing? Because he's transferring piss into each bottle, like when he gets there. But like, also, is he like? How is he storing the piss if he's like transferring it between bottles? Is he pissing in like smaller bottles and then putting it in like a bigger bottle? Or is he like fishing it out of the toilet? Like, is that why there's like the stuff in it? Or like, what is the like the mechanics of this, bro? Like, it doesn't seem very efficient. I think the piss bandit needs to come up with a better method for his fetish.
Even leaving a demonic smiley face as a taunt. But there was one play that lingered in the back of our heads. A Hail Mary of sorts. Something many of the pissheads online had been suggesting throughout this entire saga. A stakeout. This was a very risky ploy, and something that couldn't be
Think
taken
he pisses?
lightly.
No. There was like video evidence, right? There was video evidence of him like transferring piss between the bottles. So like, presumably we can think that like some of this piss is not like he's not pissing directly into the bottles that he's leaving. He like stores it somewhere. Like he keeps it like, does he have like a master piss jug? Like, I don't know what the mechanics of this are. I only follow short. Okay, well, I'm Average Height. First of all, thank you for the follow. I'm watching a video called the Piss Bandit Saga, the Piss Saga. It's about a guy who leaves bottles of piss on an electric box. This is true journalism.
Dealing with an individual who places 1-gallon jugs of urine on an electrical box at 4
I am not 3'4". I'm 5'5" and a half. 5'5".
So Grant and I started to brainstorm some ways to move forward with a full-on live
5'5".
stakeout. Unfortunately, I was ruled
I
out
can't
of
even.
every scenario.
Oh,
mainly because
I was trying to do my bit. It wasn't letting me.
Idling in the car after
5'5".
sundown would have the
Listen.
cops called, and so it all fell on Grant's shoulders now, which he was very confident about moving forward with the task. But I had.
Sorry, this is crazy. This is unfortunately true, but so crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god. For context, Pasadena's really white and also a little bit racist.
My doubts. Grant was one of those guys who just, he's just one of those guys. But he was trying to prove himself. He was persistent, and I could tell that he really wanted to be the one to catch the piss culprit and interview him. Even though he was adamant about doing the stakeout, I didn't feel comfortable putting Grant in a situation where his life could be at risk.
I could
needed
never-
to see
I could
for
never
myself
do
that He
this.
had the ability to tackle this alone. So I set up a staged piss electrical box scenario. We were able to achieve an almost exact replica of the location using a bunch of junk from Grant's warehouse, as well as various faux piss bottles made from our green tea mixture. I then had my friend Ian, who was a trained actor, meet up and play the role of the piss culprit. In order to embody the character and his motivations, I had Ian study the plethora of footage that we captured with the Reveal X Pro Cellular Trail Camera. Then we did a couple of run-throughs as him as the piss culprit, strategically placing the piss bottles on our prop electrical box. Ian was a pro and immediately had me sold on him playing the part for our dry
Look
run
at the
operations.
acting
Now,
skill.
It was Grant's turn to show me that he had what
It's
it
so
took
good.
to confront the culprit. Our first scenario was if Grant wore a ghillie suit to blend into the adjacent bushes beyond the wall. Then he'd reveal himself.
Hey.
But this was quickly shot down because it would be too startling for the culprit. Our second scenario focused on creating a large enough space between Grant and the culprit. So we had him approach from the street side. But even with that distance, Grant was still met with reactive hostility. Grant wasn't necessarily having a good time. But fortunately, Ian was able to break character and talk some sense into him in regards to how important these simulations were to our investigation. After a quick breather,
It is.
Grant was back
You
on
could.
board.
He could throw piss
We
at him.
approached
That
our
is
third
a
scenario
possibility.
differently. and had Grant implement an aggressive tactic, hoping to scare the culprit into submission.
Yo, motherfucker. What's good with this shit?
But unfortunately, this backfired, and Grant was met with extreme physical and mental punishment. After witnessing this train wreck, I had zero faith in Grant and knew there would be no way that he could successfully pull
Code
off the
barrier
stakeout.
for 10% off
We were
gamer
back
subs,
to
by the
drawing
way.
board. I figured the only way we could confront the culprit in real time was with an actual security camera that we could speak through. The next day, Rob and I headed to the
I don't
work site
own a
as
ladder.
couple construction workers.
Why are they
who
buying
owned
so
a
many
ladder.
cameras?
From
So
there,
they needed the one that they bought for this one specifically has like they can speak through the camera. The other guy, he stole the other camera. And then the first two, I think he couldn't see very well.
Robin was able to ascend above the wall and secure the Reolink Go PT Plus to a bundle of tree branches using a sturdy zip tie securing system. Our new eye in the sky was set. Now all we needed was the piss culprit to strike. A week had passed with no
They're trying to
action.
make
I
contact
knew
with
he'd
the
strike
piss
again,
bandit.
but it was just a matter of when, and if Grant and I would be awake to interview him, especially since his previous hits had been at 4 a.m. Then one evening, while visiting my folks' place and listening to my dad's long-winded explanation for his love for CBS, my phone was alerted. It was the Reolink Go PT Plus. Finally, we had him in our crosshairs, the piss culprit. In the act of placing a fresh batch of bottles. He looked different this time, now sporting a balaclava and a shirt that read volunteer on the back. It was apparent that he knew we were onto him.
Yeah, there are piss melting spots on the box. That is true. Volunteer. What on earth did I walk into? We're watching a video about a guy who leaves piss bottles on an electrical box in LA. And they're trying to figure out why he does it.
And now went to great measures to conceal his identity while still showcasing his knack for community service. This was the first time witnessing his actions live, and now I had the capabilities of communicating with him. I zeroed in and took my shot.
Yeah, the mask is so scary. No, don't take the camera. No. Minus $200. Minus $200. He's early. This is not even midnight yet.
The artist had zero interest in being interviewed. Grant and I were down 2 cameras and our funds were depleted. Someone had installed a metal pyramid atop the electrical box as a piss bottle
The piss remid. You know, I gotta workshop that one a little more.
deterrent. It was extremely well crafted and looked to be bolted in. Was this the city? Or a neighborhood vigilante with a metalsmith background? A third party had just inserted themselves into our game of piss chess, and I had no idea what the artist's next move would be. Meanwhile, concern was growing online and there seemed to be a division between people's views of the piss pyramid. Some were in favor of it, applauding its simple yet effective design, believing that this was the end of the saga, while others thought it was blasphemous and took the side of the artist, rooting him on with the confidence that he'd prevail. Amongst this discourse...
Wait, I'm sorry. I just saw a comment. Sorry, I gotta go back. I gotta read that. I've been peeing in jugs for a while. Gardening fertilizer? Is that a thing that people do? No, that sounds like bullshit. That sounds like bullshit. And I've never seen anything like this. Is that red? There is crystallization happening in these bottles. Is this guy giving pee people the ability to create the Philosopher's Stone? Okay.
Amongst this discourse, it caught a level of attention none of us previously...
Yeah, it has potassium, but like...
Noah Goldberg, a reporter for the LA
I
Times, wanted to do an article on the piss
is there a
artist and
difference
our
in taste between like piss tomatoes and not piss tomatoes? Like if you didn't fertilize it with your piss,
of trying to get to the
like could you taste a difference?
meaning behind it all. He insisted on joining us on our next excursion down to the electrical box, which I thought was a great idea. and lay a new batch of
What's the
bottles.
pH of your piss? That's not information I would like to give out for free, actually.
Labeled piss instead of his usual human urine. This was a first, and a declaration that he had seen my piss saga videos online. The artist had triumphed over the piss pyramid, like an unstoppable force. I was in awe of this move and knew this meant escalation. Not between us, but between him and whoever installed the contraption. We were caught in the middle of a pissing contest and decided that this was bigger than us and that we needed to take a step back and just surveil. The next day, Grant and I met the LA Times at the location. They conducted a quick interview where we laid out everything that had occurred up until this point. Now it was time to head to the piss box. But first, I made sure that they were equipped with decoy construction worker outfits as a safeguard for their
Bear, you ever pee in the sink? Okay. Again, this goes back to the hardware thing that we talked about. No, I've never fucking peed in the sink because you know what I'd have to do? I have to put my entire ass in the sink, bro. Or I'd have to put one leg up on the sink and pray that it's the right angle. Like, anatomically, no, I have not fucking pissed in the sink, bro. Like, what? Do you want me to, like, put my bare ass in the sink?
reputation.
I don't want to piss in the sink. Why would I do that?
Security camera.
What is it with you people and asking me to piss in the woods and piss in a sink? Why are you so obsessed with my locations of pissing? What?
We then made our way to the piss box, where the new batch remained, glistening. Remnants of the metal pyramid lay on the ground, like a defeated pawn.
Dude.
Noah and a staff photographer were fascinated by the glow.
It's literally insane that he took that apart. How the fuck do you do that?
Glowing yellow bottles, making sure to document everything they could.
He is so committed to his. Also, I get that like box has really good visibility, like for his fetish or whatever. But like at that point, wouldn't you just move? Like if your quest is to get your piss seen, there has to be another electrical box that you could choose that has less resistance here.
Visual layout of the artist's studio and the vantage point of his canvas, all while setting up our
maybe
new
the piss spot is just too perfect, so you can hide there.
To monitor the moves of both the artist and the new third-party challenger. But then, the challenger executed their next move by implementing the installment of a heavy-duty piss pyramid 2.0. The metalsmiths looked professional, and I believe it was now safe to say that this was the work of the city. They were swift and acting promptly, a characteristic the government usually lacks, which meant this was serious. The city had successfully knobbed the spot, and I was curious as to how the artist would respond. For days, Grant and I waited. We had courtside seats to this historical contest between two rivaling giants. Our fingers were crossed, hoping we'd get to witness the next move in real time. But instead of piss, we got piss heads. People who had been following the saga online visited the box. From documenting the pyramid to searching
this is
for
why
cameras,
I think he shouldn't have posted about it. I think if he didn't post about it, this wouldn't have happened.
Grant and I's cover.
Strange one here. A mystery man is making his mark on the streets of Pasadena.
So that's why the pyramids were shaped like that? Maybe the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids to stop aliens from pissing on the earth. Have you ever thought about that?
Something that you'd want to see or smell, for that matter.
Okay, here we go. Two local filmmakers are getting plenty of attention these days, tracking down the so-called pee bandit.
Grant Yansura and his buddy Derek Milton are about 2 years into documenting the mysterious bottles.
The bottles keep turning up on a specific Pasadena water and power electrical box.
Son dejadas arriba de una caja del departamento de...
Tested it and found out, in fact, that it was clean, healthy, human urine.
We had no idea that the LA Times story about the piss electrical box would take off in the way that it did.
I've never seen an alien pissing on the earth, so it clearly worked. Thank you, ancient Egyptians. I'm saying, guys. Maybe they're a piss deterrent. Just saying.
Like, well, it's his artistic expression.
That's the piss artist who's clearly doing some kind of installation.
It's Banksy with urine.
You're like Banksy,
So they're trying to reverse psychology?
They tried, but he wouldn't answer.
No, of course not, because he can see right through that. He's playing fucking 5D chess.
Concerns spread worldwide. And much like our own investigation, everyone wanted to know the meaning behind it all. People sent us a plethora of piss-related content, from memes, to videos, to handcrafted artwork, even to the point of getting recognized in public.
Everywhere, and see there, people honk at you,
they say, you're the P guys, and it's not really what we wanted to be.
Our entire mission of dressing up as decoy construction workers was in order to not be associated with piss, but it had backfired.
Yeah, they're pretty associated with piss now.
And it was then that it dawned on me. We had been so consumed with our own intrigue and wanting to know why, to the point of developing an unhealthy obsession with trail and security cameras, that we had lost our focus. The artist was aware of our intention to communicate, yet still chose not to. And our own infatuation as to why may have led to the obstruction of him creating more.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everywhere you look, a canvas exists. Whether it controls traffic signals, sources electricity to nearby homes, or houses a heavily damaged piss bottle.
That's right, chat. Get inspired, get out there, fill up some bottles of piss and put them on your local electrical box.
The city is full of them. And if you ever find yourself in Pasadena and happen to stumble upon the original artist's electrical box, remember to look above and beyond the wall.
They never found out why. Isn't that video insane? Like, actually ridiculously insane. That just showed up on my my YouTube feed like a month ago. And it's insane that, one, that was going on for that long. Two, that they were so committed to finding out why that man was doing it. But that video is so good. Even though we don't find out why, I still think that video is so awesome. It's ridiculously high quality. And very good journalism. Minus the fact that they posted online that they were watching this guy, because I think that was their fatal flaw. I think the fact that they posted online that they were like tracking this dude was the problem, because like it's too easy to find, like that would go viral instantly, right? Like it's too easy for him to realize that he's being watched, you know? And it causes people who are less who are less like tactful about their investigations to interfere in the piss investigation. So I think if they didn't post, they might have been able to figure out like who it was, but alas, unfortunately,